Okay, so now we're going to discuss the energy work or the state work on sensing and syncing, meaning bringing these two together. Now, they're actually quite an important relationship in the sense that in order to have a good overall sensation for syncing or tum or sinking the chi or dropping, whatever you want to call it, or alignment with gravity, you need to be able to sense the space that you're sinking through. So you can think of it like, if Carlson doesn't really sense his body because he's too stuck in his head or thinking about something else or in his emotions, for example, then when he goes to sync, it's not going to have as much an effect on his actual physical body, right? Because he's not actually aware of those places to sync. So another way you can approach this concept is like, when you sense your body or sense the space your body's in more specifically, or the energy body, call it what you like, oftentimes there are parts of your actual space that you do not have a deep sensation for, in the sense that like, how often were you told in your life to sense your spine, or sense your pelvis, or sense the bones, or sense the marrow, right? So oftentimes when we come to Kung Fu or internal practice or even meditation, there is a lack of sensing awareness within ourselves, right? So in order to effectively sync, you want to be able to sense well. So what we're doing now is we're just looking at the link between the two, and also practicing the link between the two. So for example, on a kind of energetic / mental practical level, you could sense your musculature, right? So sense your muscles, right? And then try to go deeper than that and feel underneath them, sense underneath them into the bones, right? The white part of the bones. And then you go deeper than that and sense into your marrow, so to speak. That's an example of going deeper into sensation. Now, another example could be going through your body in like a scanning mechanism, right? So let's say you start at your head and you move down through the head into the shoulders, arms, chest, belly, hips, thighs, and feet. And now as you do that scan, right, you're going through your body and you're noticing the areas that either have no sensation or are tense in sensation. So why is that important? Because they may be the areas which you don't have a connection to yet. With state training in both its stationary application, moving application, but also in its partner application, so when you're doing luksao, chi sao, or sparring, traps, techniques, in the whole kind of Wing Chun system, you're looking to be able to build these connections in your space and body. To elaborate that a little bit so you kind of grasp what I'm trying to say here. Let's just say we're doing luksao, right? Which is rolling arms. And as we do our rolling arms, I notice, let's say, a tension in my right shoulder here, for example. What we can do is I can sense that area, and if I want to be more specific, I would center myself in my attention and then sense that area so that I can start to actually sync it out and release it. So you use the different training tools to build the state into your mechanism, into your body, right? So sensing wants to be done, or you want to do it on a deep level. You can use that layered approach, or you can use the scanning approach in order to feel your body in a deeper way, or sense your body in a deeper way. Now, further to that, if we now approach it from the concept of syncing, as you sense the overall space, you want to be syncing through that space. So, the intention would be as to let things drop, or to align with gravity, or from a visual standpoint, it'd be like a shower or a waterfall washing down through your body in order to potentiate deep physical relaxation, so that as you move your limbs, you stay in that sunk, relaxed condition, so that, it's easier to do that, when you're moving with nothing there. But the objective is to be able to do it when you have resistance, so that as there's some resistance in front of me, rather than me meeting the resistance and tensing against it, being able to continue to sink down as I move so that the body stays relaxed. allowing the structure to stay unified and also to start to bring out the mind power or Nimlik or Nim Tao in the Wing Chun system. Now, as you sync, you've got a couple of components to it. You've got the energetic syncing, like a movement of the sensing energy, so to speak. It's another way to think about it, because it's like you're sensing in a moving fashion, as opposed to sensing in a stationary way, which is the sensing, right? And then you've also got the visual component, where you can think of it visually to potentiate the movement of the sensing. So you're imagining water dropping down, and you can also sense the movement or the sinkingness. But further to that, you have the emotional and mental sinking, which is the letting go-ness. Yeah? So any things that you're holding on to in your emotional life, any negativities, frustrations, complaints, even old programs and beliefs, you want to be able to just release and sync them out so that they don't create tension in your body. You might have someone that, betrayed you or did something wrong to you, and you're still holding on to that energetically and emotionally, and that can be leading to a build-up in tension in your system. In our system, in Wing Chun, you want to be letting go of all forms of tension. Often my master would say, no need to use force. And that applies to the physical, energetic, emotional, mental levels, all the levels. You want to be letting go of force in order to get that nice, free-flowing condition within yourself. So, sensing and syncing work hand in hand, because you want to be able to sense the space so you can sync through that. So don't look over the importance of training yourself to develop skill in both sensing and syncing, because they are foundational components of your training. Another way to think about it is, well, firstly, I'm still working on sensing and syncing, and I've been doing it for a long time. I've been training Wing Chun now over 20 years now, so it's a long time. And it seems that there's always more that can be released and let go of from a both physical, energetic, emotional, and mental standpoint, right? To be able to sync that out. Another way to think of it is, if you think of a cell, it's like, you're trying to go deeper and deeper into that cell so that you can really get into an emptiness condition, which kind of links to the principle of forcelessness or effortlessness. It's like you're trying to enter into that empty space so that you can really come from an effortless or forceless place. Okay, so that's a couple ideas on the sensing energy and the syncing energy and how they unify. We'll go into some exercises in the next videos. If you do have any questions on that kind of the conceptual side of it, on the theory, once again, put them in the community. We'd love to answer your questions in there, and we'll see you in our next video.